From being wounded over the weekend at Villa Park in a match that ended 3-1, United are now going to host Aston Villa at Old Trafford in this tie of the Carabao Cup. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys? And where are you watching us from? Rokan David is my name. How are you? And where are you really watching us from? This is Rokan David. And if at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to go into the right bottom corner, smash the subscription button by smashing it, hit the notification bell to enable you get notified each and every time I upload a video onto this channel. Remember, we are left with 200 subscribers to hit 9,000 subscribers. And guys, endeavor to subscribe, because you know in these 6 weeks you're going in with the World Cup break inclusive, lots of stories concerning the transfers are really going to be coming up and loud here onto this channel, and you shouldn't miss out, guys, because this is really going to be one of the craziest transfers you're going to see clubs undergo, because the World Cup is going to be underway. Obviously, managers will be sending scouts to the World Cup. Every team in the world that is really legit, especially that plays in top football, goes ahead and really sends scouts in the World Cup to go on and really scout that side. So right now, I believe United are really going to go ahead and really scout in the World Cup. That's why we're going to be having lots of news coming in from the World Cup and every player that is going to be playing there and who is really going to be picking interest in which player. So that's why I'm really advising you to go on and subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, in the game of Aston Villa that we played over the weekend, Varane was out, Anthony never played, Sancho never played, but the rest of the players were really available. But fatigue was written all over the bodies of these players of Manchester United. And I believe Erik ten Hag can't make another mistake to go on and really field almost the same team he fielded against Aston Villa away at Villa Park. I believe he's really going to go ahead and really make some big holes in this game of football with the return of Sancho, Anthony. I believe those two are really going to be back into the starting 11 of Manchester United, or not, they'll make it the bench. That's it. But here onto the United Matters channel, we've gone ahead and predicted the starting 11 of Manchester United that Erik ten Hag is going to go ahead and pick ahead of that fixture of United versus Aston Villa that's happening tomorrow on Thursday. Remember, that fixture closing our season before we go to the World Cup is against Fulham. So I believe he's going to rest more players against Fulham, because it's not going to be so much sounding if at all we are knocked out of the Carabao Cup. That's it. I don't believe it's going to make a lot of noise. And for my case, I believe it's better we rest players and we go ahead and win that game of Fulham, because to me, I believe finishing the top 4 positions of the Premier League is more important to our season than us winning the Carabao Cup. Because when you win the Carabao Cup, obviously, where do you go? You go to what we call the Premier League. You go to the UEFA Europa League, where we are already, and you can even go to the UEFA Europa League when you finish 5th. But the best thing is we should go ahead and really be so much important and so much competitive into the Premier League. I agree with the fact that we have a very huge squad, but it's really a very huge drop-off every time you get off the players that start into our efficient first 11, and then you get one and then bring in a player like Scott McTominay. There is really a very big drop-off, like getting Casemiro off and bringing in Scott McTominay. That's a big drop-off. Not having Eriksen on the field of play and having their Freddie, it's really a big drop-off. So that is something that I believe we need to go on and really rectify in the January transfer window to really add in some bit of quality into this squad. But this is a tournament we've been winning very many times as Manchester United, though we last won it under Jose Mourinho. I remember that finale where I think we beat Southampton by 3-2 with Zlatan Ibrahimovic scoring a brace. There was a free kick, and I don't remember, did he even score a hat-trick? So that's when we last won it. And against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the best we did was to reach the semi-finals, and we are knocked out by... Which team knocked us out? Was it Man City? Yeah, we are knocked out by Man City, I think twice. We are knocked out by Man City. And the last season, we are knocked out by West Ham at Old Trafford by 1-0, where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer decided to go on and rest all of the players, the first starters of his team, and obviously brought in players that looked to be the second string side, and we are really beaten by West Ham by 1-0. You know that it was scored by Bowen in the first 5 minutes of the game, and United couldn't find itself an equalizer to force the game into extra time or into penalties. So that's what happened. But now Erik ten Hag is really the new manager of Manchester United, and we're here to see what is really going to go on and happen at Manchester United as we talk on a side which goes by the name of Aston Villa. The system, obviously, you know it's a 4-2-3-1. That is the system that he really fancies, and the system that has really delivered lots of wins for him in the previous games he has really played at Manchester United. Now we go to the starting 11. We start off with the goalkeeper, David De Gea, Dubravka, and Tom Heaton. I believe the player next to starting for Manchester United is Dubravka, but I believe in the Carabao Cup it's going to be David De Gea. You know, when you're playing a team like Aston Villa, you just believe that you're at Old Trafford, you're going to create some good chances, but Aston Villa is also not an easy club. They can come in through and really create some huge chances, and obviously who can go ahead and really help you up? It's David De Gea. And there is that rhythm that De Gea has been building as far as his ball distribution is concerned, and him being a super goalkeeper. I believe Erik ten Hag wants that to continue in this game of football, and I believe he's going to start in goal for Manchester United, and that is David De Gea. For the right back, still on David De Gea, I won't be surprised when Dubravka starts, but I believe David De Gea has lots of chances to start. But even Dubravka might make his first start for Manchester United into this team. Right back, Dalot versus Aaron Wan-Bissaka and versus Brandon Williams. If at all Diego Dalot was not suspended for the game of Fulham via the weekend, I believe he would have played into this game of football. That's it. He would have played. He wouldn't have played in this game of Aston Villa. I believe he would have been rested by the manager to go on and really prepare him for the game of Fulham. But because he's out for the game of Fulham, I believe he's going to start on the right back of Manchester United. Now, someone will say that Aaron Wan-Bissaka should start this game such that he gets some match fitness to go on and really play in the game of Aston Villa. Sorry, in the game of Fulham over the weekend. But everyone will ask you, does Erik ten Hag fancy Aaron Wan-Bissaka? Every time he was there, he never used him. And is he going to use Malacia as the inverted right back? We wait to see, because I believe that Ten Hag has shown Aaron Wan-Bissaka that you're not part of my plans, obviously. And the confirmation is really going to be done today and on Sunday. If we don't see Aaron Wan-Bissaka feature in any of these games, that will be a confirmation to the board that he's not part of my squad, and I'm playing with Malacia as an inverted right back. I believe in the game of Fulham, if Erik ten Hag doesn't go in for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, obviously he will go in for Malacia to play as an inverted right back. And obviously he has showed us that he's good at playing that position, though he's left-footed. But in the UEFA Europa League, in the Premier League, he has not been tested into playing like that as an inverted left or right back. So we believe that is going to play that position. On the left side, I believe it's going to be Malacia. Luke Shaw is going to be rested a little bit to prepare for that game of Fulham, and obviously go on and really get him into that game of Fulham. But today, I don't see Luke Shaw starting for United. I believe Tyrell Malacia is returning to play as the left back for Manchester United. Now, the central defense, everyone will ask, is it going to be Lisandro Martinez partnering with Harry Maguire, or it's going to be Lisandro Martinez partnering Lindelof? I believe Lisandro Martinez deserves to be rested, guys. He has played loads of football, 90 minutes ever since this season started. He was only rested in the game of Real Sociedad at Old Trafford when we lost by 1-0, where he came on for Diego Dalot and Lindelof switched to the right, and we played like that. but he has been playing 90 minutes for the rest of the games. So that is a man who goes by the names of Lisandro Martinez. Even in the game of Arsenal, he was taken off like 10 minutes to the end of the game. So he has not been given enough rest, yet we are having one of the most important fixtures that is happening on the weekend. Because if at all we win against Fulham, we will be stretching to 26 points. You get 26 points. Obviously, Spurs is at 23 and they've played one more game than us, and Newcastle is at 27, meaning that we need to win this game of Fulham as we head in the transfer break, as we head into the World Cup break, to have 26 points to keep ourselves close to the 4th position. Obviously, I believe that is possible. And this game of football against Aston Villa, it's important, but to me, it's not as important as I expect it to be. So I need Lisandro Martinez in the game of Fulham, and you can't risk him when you're not even having Rafael Varane. It's better to put in these two central defenders. That is Harry Maguire on the right side of the central defense, and Victor Lindelof playing onto the left side of the central defense, meaning that the Maglof are really going to be back into this game of football. Let's go to the midfield, the double midfield pivot of Manchester United. I believe that Casemiro deserves a rest. Eriksen deserves a rest. So, what are you left with? It's obviously Scott McTominay, and Freddie. That's it. Freddie called upon in the Brazilian national team to go in the World Cup. Scott McTominay also is going to play, called upon to play against Turkey into the international friendlies that are going to take place, I think, 1 week from now, after the Premier League really comes to a pause until the World Cup really comes to an end on the 18th of December. That is Freddie Rodriguez and Scott McTominay playing into the double midfield pivot. And I believe they are going to put up a very good record resistance. I remember they faced the same team in the preseason, and the first half ended in favor of Manchester United with 2-0. And I believe it's going to be more or less the same team that really played them there. And I believe Scott McTominay is so much improved than how he was before Ten Hag came on here. And this is the game he's starting ever since he played before Everton. Which team did we play? Oh, I think after Everton, I think he last started in the game of Man City. Then in the game of Everton, Casemiro came on, and then when Scott McTominay came on because he had 4 yellow cards, he got 1 yellow card, and then he missed out on the game of Newcastle. So ever since then, he has never started. Ever since Everton. Ever since the game of Man City, he never started for Manchester United in the Premier League, and the manager has gone ahead to do the needful and really put out a team that has really gotten him to the levels he wants to go on and be. That is Erik Ten Hag. So I believe Scott McTominay has a chance to go on and really prove himself that, oh, I'm really a Scott McTominay, a more improved player that Erik Ten Hag can go on and be the best on. So Freddie Rodriguez, his intensity and work rate, I believe he can really outcompete the likes of the McGuinn. Is it McGuinn? Then there is Kamara, and obviously a player who goes by the names of Luis Douglas Luiz, that midfielder that was going to Arsenal, though he never went in there, and he really renewed his contract at Villa. So that is the ideal midfield of United that can really take on a team which goes by the names of Aston Villa. So now after there is really a very contentious position that everyone will ask, because Danny Van Beek just returned. He has just started 2 games of Manchester United, and Bruno Fernandes never played in the game of Aston Villa, and obviously he is back for this game. Now, if you are Erik Ten Hag, what do you do? Do you start him, or you rest him and really bring him on later, or you rest him completely and he starts the game against Fulham away at Craven Cottage? What do you do if at all you are Erik Ten Hag? To me, if I'm Erik Ten Hag, I bring on this man. That's why you've agreed with my team here at United Matters channel. Donny van de Beek, you have to give him games consistently to go on and really prove to himself that I can really do the job when Bruno Fernandes is not here, or even when he's here, I can go on and offer much more than he really offers on the field of play. So I believe Danny Van Beek should start. Then you can take him off and bring on Bruno Fernandes, depending on the game situation, as it's really going to be. So let's get to the right attacking side of the midfield. Anthony, it's believed to be back because there is no press conference today. I've waited to see whether we are going to get some news from the manager, but nothing has been put out there by the board of Manchester United or the website. So for Sancho, because he was ill, I believe he's going to be back for this game. And I believe it's time to go on and really give him this position and see whether he can go ahead and really play better on the right attacking side of the midfield. Because on the left, he looks dreadful. I don't know what's wrong with him, but on the left, he's really looking dreadful. And I believe it's time we played him onto the right attacking side of the midfield to see to it whether he can go on and really prove himself that he's really one of those players that has really grown and really improved and really learned from what Erik ten Hag is telling him to do and improve. You see, I believe in giving people second chances, and Sancho is a talented player, and I believe he's a Ten Hag type of player. He's tailor-made for the Erik ten Hag system, but because we are really trying to go on and really master most of the things that we are really not used to, I believe I shouldn't go ahead and really blame him a lot in this game of football. Then on the left attacking side of the midfield, I believe it's not going to be Alejandro Garnacho this time because he has played very many games. I believe this boy deserves a chance. Anthony Elanga off the left, because all of his best performances have come off the left because he's really fast. And I believe at Old Trafford, we are really going to be so much expansive. And us being at home, you're going to be having a lion's share of the possession to go on and really hit them anytime we want. So I believe Anthony Elanga should start off the left attacking side of the midfield. People will say Alejandro Garnacho. I don't believe that Alejandro Garnacho should be starting this game of football. I think it's better to start Anthony Elanga, and obviously it's not supposed to be Ronaldo or Rashford to lead the line. It's number 9, Anton Martial, to go on and lead the line for Manchester United. So that is my predicted starting 11 for Manchester United concerning that game of Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup tomorrow. And I believe most of the players are put in here are really going to start, but there might be some shocks, like maybe Aaron Wan-Bissaka coming in through. You might see Bruno starting. You might see Rashford starting. But I believe Rashford, Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes should be benched. Luke Shaw should be benched. Lisandro Martinez should be benched. And maybe when the match situation really calls for them to come on through, I believe they shouldn't be brought onto the field of play. It's better we played them in the field. Maybe another shock of Zidane Iqbo can be expected, but I believe there are very many players that Ten Hag really rates ahead of Zidane Iqbo that are really so much good for this game of football. But us losing at Aston Villa, I think this will be the best reward for them. And if I told you Unai Emery, if you told him that losing against Manchester United at Aston Villa in the Premier League and being knocked out of the Carabao Cup by Manchester United, what do you go for? I believe he would have decided to be beaten into the Premier League and really proceed into the Carabao Cup, because Aston Villa is nowhere near competition in the Premier League. They are nowhere near. That's it. Though they have good players. So I think he also knows it better that United has a better chance, and it's going to be very much painful if at all we knock them out, and it's really going to be so much bad for Aston Villa when we knock them out today, because they really see this as a good opportunity to go on and really maybe put up a very stiff competition into this game of football as they talk on Manchester United in the Carabao Cup. If they knock us out, they really look so much better to go on and really compete, because they have good players and they have quality players that you can obviously go and pick out of Aston Villa and bring into that team of Manchester United. For example, I think Leon Bailey can come on and really do a better job at Manchester United alongside Anthony. They can really compete and put in a very stiff competition from that side. I think when you look at this central defender who goes by names of Mings, I believe Mings is better than Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof. He can put up a very good competition in there for you. Fast, physically strong. You see him outmarked Ronaldo. The other player that I believe they have that we are lacking, Cash. I think Cash plays good at the right back. He can come in at Old Trafford and really compete with Delo a lot and better. Boba Kamara in that midfield and Douglas Luiz. I believe if at all you told Erik ten Hag that Freddie and Scott McTominay, replace them with Boba Kamara and Douglas Luiz, I believe 100% will say, yep, I back that decision. He will back it 100% because those players are really good. And which other player do they have that is really quality? There is, who plays on the left? Oli Watkins, yeah, Oli Watkins. I think if at all he's being told that Oli Watkins, bring him at Manchester United to go on and compete with Anton Martial and Ronaldo, he will take him in because Oli Watkins is really a good centre forward. He is not the centre forward that really waits for the ball. He contributes a lot or involves himself a lot into play, and obviously does the needful to take these people off as required. So that is how I believe United is going to stand. But I believe Villa is a decent side, and when you look at their other players that they never started, they're really looking great. So I expect them to come on full force. The reason being, they've not been playing in Europe. They've been playing only the Premier League. No reason to rest any player. They have been playing, obviously, one game a week. So I see no reason for them to come in through and really bench all these players. But I believe we are going to win this game of football at Old Trafford. We are winning it. We are winning it because we are going to bring in fresh legs that are really going to go on and tussle them out and knock them out. That is Aston Villa. And I believe we were so much competitive with almost the same team. This team you see onto the screen. I think the only player that is going to be missed out is Ronaldo. We have a player. Donny was not here, and Malacia. But the rest of the 8 players were here when we went away at Aston Villa and really drew 2-2, and we caused a very huge we caused a very huge havoc at Aston Villa in the opening minutes because the first half ended 2-0. And if at all it were really a very good manager who was so much used to the Premier League, would have really gone ahead to collect those 3 points. But Ralf Rangnick really failed to bring on players to defend that game of football and kill it off, and really brought in players when it was late, when we wouldn't go ahead and really force a win. And only a point was taken out of that game. Philippe Coutinho in his debut for Aston Villa coming down and really causing a lot of havoc to Manchester United. So guys, my prediction is 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. I don't believe Harry Maguire and Lindelof can really keep a clean sheet against Watkins, Leon Bailey, and is he Edu Buendia? Yeah, that's it, Edu Buendia. So those 3 are really a very good attack force-minded team that is really going to come on and really do the needful to a side which goes by the names of Manchester United. So let's wait and see what's going to happen. But I believe we are winning this game by 2-1. What are your predictions in this game of football? Go into the comment section and tell me what you think about these predictions. So thank you guys for watching again. Smash the like button, comment and share. 200 subscribers left to hit 9,000 subscribers. Go on and really subscribe, guys. How do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner and smash the subscription button that will enable you to get notified each and every time I upload a video onto this channel. I hand you over to the Almighty Lord. First video of the day. More videos are yet to come, obviously more too, and they're obviously going to be about transfers. Unless otherwise we have a breaking story, that's when I'm going to return in the next 2-3 hours with the transfer news rotating around Manchester United, on which players that we are really going to be signing, and a mystery signing coming in from Blackburn that Erik ten Hag is involved in and admiring to bring on at Manchester United as a centre forward. I'm out.